We're gonna try to do this video quick, 5 to 7 minutes max. 5 ways to grow as a photographer or a videographer. Just something real quick, a personal opinion, right before we jump into this, right before we jump into these 5 tips. Personally, I believe that growing as a photographer is a lot easier than growing as a videographer. I say that from my own personal experience because I do both. However, most of my clientele and the reasons for most of my success has been because of photography. Most of the people I've met, most of the things that have gone correct for me, most of my projects are photography. So I don't know, that could just be circumstantial. It probably will be circumstantial, it more than likely is. It might be different for other people, but for me personally, photography has been easier for me to grow. Jumping right into this, we have tip number 1, which is do not limit yourself to either side of creating. When I say that, I mean, do not limit yourself to photography and do not limit yourself to videography. If you already walked into this knowing you wanted to do one or the other, that's cool, that's dope, you stick with that. But if you're not really sure, never really limit yourself to either one. You want to make sure you know how to do both, because if you're just starting out, you never really know what's going to blow up for you. And I think that's everyone's main goal, for something to work out. So you don't want to sit here and turn down a lot of opportunities because you're just a photographer or you're just a videographer. Most of the times, if you're just beginning, the camera that you have is very capable of doing both greatly. So it's not like you're sitting here walking around with a cinema camera trying to do like photo shoots. You know, if that's the case, bro, if you have a cinema camera, you probably you shouldn't be watching this video. Like, what the hell? Definitely never limit yourself to one side. Do both. Be a hybrid until you take off. That leads us right into our step number 2, which is experience different fields of work. When I say that, I mean experience different fields of photography and videography. For example, I do sports photography, but I never really limit myself to specifically sports. Yes, I do mainly sports, but if someone were to come to me with another project for something else, like for example, sometimes I do parties, sometimes I do weddings, sometimes I do prom shoots, whatever the case may be, just fashion stuff, I will never turn that down because I specifically just do sports. Because you never really know who you can meet or what you can do or what can take off from you from doing one specific thing. And in terms of with videography, say you usually just shoot short films, but someone wants you to shoot a video for an event. And through this event, you don't know what could happen. This event could be making you more money than this short film could. You know, you never really want to limit yourself in that aspect as well. You never want to limit yourself photography, videography, but you also never want to limit yourself to the type of work that you do in your field until you're already up there. Once you have found your profession and you're up there, obviously you don't have to do a whole bunch of different types. That leads us into our number 3 perfectly. When you're doing different fields of work that you've never done before, don't be scared to do free work. Now, careful. If someone asks you to do something that you've never done before, of course, we're charging. But if you want to try something new and you want to build your portfolio and build your resume, definitely don't be afraid to just do free work. Because the way I like to think about it, I can't specifically give somebody a price on something I've never done before. For example, like I want to do, it's gonna sound so weird, I want to do skater pictures. Like I want to do pictures and videos for skaters, but I'm not gonna go out there and go to a skate park and be charging people like, yo, if you let me do this, if you pay me this much, I'll do this. No, they don't know me. They don't know what my work looks like, and they never ask for it. I want to do it to build my portfolio. Back when I was in high school, I did a whole bunch of free basketball work, a whole bunch of free basketball videos and photos. And from that came a whole bunch of clientele. So don't think about it as you're wasting your time. Never, free work does not mean you're wasting your time. Think about it as you benefiting from this free work. You're building a portfolio so that later on down the line, you can have more people paying you because you have actual proof to show, yo, I can do this. Here's what I can do. You know what I'm saying? Here's what I can do. Here's my potential. And this is why I want this much. And then tip number 4 is to put yourself out there. Connect with as many people as possible. And one thing I will say that has helped me so much, connect with other photographers and videographers. With some people, you get out here and you want to be super, super competitive. Do not get me wrong, this is definitely a competitive field because there are a lot of creators out here that do exactly what you do and you always want to stand out. With that being said, you also want to connect and have a good relationships with a lot of different photographers and videographers, whoever you meet, filmmakers, creators, whoever it is, you always want to have a good relationship with them because you never know what opportunities they can bring, especially ones that are in higher positions than you. One of my good friends is also a photographer, his name's Matt. Matt, shout out to you. You already, you know. I had texted him on Instagram back when I first started. it was like, you know, I asked him, you know, a little bit of advice. He kind of blew me off a little bit, like as he normally should, gave me little side stuff. And then as Matt saw me progressing and growing, our relationship kind of grew, and he started to, you know, reach out and stuff like that. I see some of my pictures improving. I met him in person at one time at a basketball game, actually. And then from there, he got me out to an NFL photo shoot, an NFL workout, and I was able to build so much from there. Reaching out to as many people as you can, you definitely want to do that. You want to let people know you're interested. If you see people on high, don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to go up and introduce yourself, because that's what's gonna get you into these doors. Yeah, some people don't like it. You're gonna get turned down. It's inevitable. But then again, you're gonna get these some people that are like, yo, bro, okay, I can see he's truly passionate about this. He wants to get somewhere, you know. And then if they see that you're like that, they might even recommend you to be on certain shoots that they couldn't get to as like a backup. And if that's the case, they trust you and they trust your work to live up to their potential for what the person originally hired them for. I'm just saying, bro, you never know what can come from meeting people. And last but not least, build your portfolio. There is nothing more that can help you grow as a photographer, a videographer, a YouTuber, anything except building your portfolio. Think of your portfolio as like your resume when you're going to a job. How is somebody gonna hire you, and how are you gonna progress if you have no portfolio to show the work that you've done? Unless you just got it like that. But if you're just starting out, you wanna have a really good portfolio, whether that's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, a website, or all four, or all of the above. All of the above is even better, because that means you're reaching more people. But you want to have a portfolio, something that you display your work so that people can see what you're doing, so people can see your progression, so people can see why, or see your work ethic, so they can be like, oh yes, I want this person to work on this project for me. So these are just 5 simple steps. So you can go a whole lot more in depth when it comes to growing as a photographer, videographer. But these are just 5 simple steps that have helped me. Something quick, something for you to consider if you're just beginning. Hopefully these tips help you, and I 100% believe that they will, because they did for me. They have helped me, and they've got me to where I am today. And I know obviously I'm not at the top of the top of the top, but like I'm in a good standpoint, and I'm at a good progression level. You know, I thought I'd pass off some of this information to y'all. So thank you guys so much for watching. It was a quick video. I hope you guys did enjoy. Don't forget to drop a like, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to stay creative. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.